Once upon a time, ordinary citizens tiptoed past the homes of judges. We were so scared of judges. I remember when we were sent to Justice Bello's home to deliver a message, we make sure that he's not at home before we go, because everyone was so scared of the kind, nice, and decent Justice Muhammad Bello. May his soul rest in peace as well. But not any longer. Now judges are abused and maligned with almost reckless abandon and with no consequences. They are physically and mentally assaulted, sometimes roundly disrespected by the ordinary citizen. How indeed are the mighty fallen. But we must also resist simplistic narratives. Practically all judicial officers work under immense pressure while being poorly resourced and poorly protected. The problem is not merely one of bad actors. It is also one of weak institutions, and there I say it here, a lack of courageous leadership within the bar. If the judiciary is to regain its moral authority, lawyers must lead the way then. We must speak out, not only when the bench errs, but also when the bar fails. After all, every member of the bench was once a member of the bar. But it was gratifying to hear the president of the NBA speak to some of these issues. We must support judicial independence while demanding judicial accountability. We must advocate for reforms, the National Judicial Council, to the funding mechanisms of the judiciary. We must insist and ensure that the criteria for appointment to the bench and elevation to the appellate courts must be raised and made devoid of even the slightest hint of opacity. There must be total transparency. Also, the discipline of erring judicial officers must be not only transparent, but be very firmly and strictly enforced. Recent comments on this issue by His Excellency Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, bear witness to the gravity of the situation. Clearly, the time has come for lawyers to stop being mere litigators of symptoms and to become the architects of institutional health. I will now talk about the role of young lawyers and the regional bars. Let me specially address young lawyers and local branches such as yours here in Bwari. Too often, the conversation about reform is centralized and is all too often dominated by the learned silks, but change often bubbles from below. In Nigerian Bar Association against the Altoism of the Federation 2015, 15 Nigerian Kilo Reports, part 1481 on page 1, the Supreme Court recognized the importance of the Nigerian Bar Association in promoting the rule of law and legal development across the country, stating that, and I quote, the NBA plays a crucial role in ensuring that legal services are accessible and that the rule of law is upheld throughout the Federation. Similarly, in a sister common law jurisdiction, South Africa, the South African Constitutional Court acknowledged the role of legal practitioners in advancing constitutional values, emphasizing that, and I quote, the legal profession has a duty to promote the values of the Constitution and ensure access to justice for all, end of quote. It is at the grassroots, at the area courts, the magistrate courts, and customary courts that most Nigerians first come face to face with law and justice. And it is in branches like yours that legal ethics, community service, and public interest litigation can find expression beyond the elitism that sometimes make the law appear to be beyond the reach of the citizen. I would suggest that we must build a culture where lawyers are not only seen advocating in courts or pontificating on television. They must also be seen in classrooms, community halls, policy dialogues, and before regulators, educating citizens, scrutinizing local budgets, monitoring elections, defending the voiceless, and advocating for helpless consumers. The latter area, consumer protection, is especially one in which non-public spiritual lawyers can work actively. Consumer protection is neither in the exclusive nor the concurrent legislative list. So permit me to say something that may be uncomfortable but necessary. The NBA must look in the mirror. We cannot demand integrity in public life while tolerating mediocrity or malpractice within the ranks of lawyers. We cannot lament the erosion of justice if we allow our own internal regulatory and disciplinary bodies to be toothless. We cannot continue to demand a clean electoral process while profiting regularly from the shenanigans that have infected election petitions. In Chief Gani Powermi against the Nigerian Bar Association number 2, 1989, Nigerian Weekly Reports, part 105 on page 558, the Supreme Court highlighted the responsibility of the NBA in maintaining professional ethics. And I quote, the NBA must ensure that its members adhere to the highest standards of professional conduct to maintain public confidence in the legal profession. It is time to renew the moral foundations of the Nigerian Bar Association, not through slogans, but through structure, deliberate and well-considered action. Let us revisit our ethical codes, our continuing legal education programs, the pro bono culture, and internal democracy. Let us invest not just in the glamour of conferences, but in the grit of reform. Let us not be a profession that is feared, but not respected, visible, but not trusted, numerous, but not impactful. May it not be too late. Learned gentlemen, the bar is not merely a career or a source of daily bread obtained by any means possible or necessary. No, it is a vocation. It is a calling that is first and above all about glorify this utmost good faith, integrity, and conscience. Whether you draft laws, argue cases, or advise clients, you as lawyers carry the weight of justice on your shoulders. You are not just a service provider. You are standard bearers. You are not just interpreters of the law. You are the defenders of the social contract. I call on you not to be passive observers of Nigeria's dysfunction. There is too much silence in the land amidst serious constitutional violations and appropriation and destruction of institutions. Let us be bold participants in the birth of our nation. Let the NBA and all lawyers work to shape policies, not just plead cases. Let the NBA and lawyers challenge bad laws, not just comply with them. Let us all uphold the Constitution, even when it is inconvenient to do so. And in all things, let us remember, the power of the law lies not just in its text, but in the integrity of those who will, plead, and interpret it. As we celebrate Law Week, may it not be just a ritual of robes, suits, and rhetoric. Let it be a time of reflection, rededication, and reform. I believe in the power of the Nigerian lawyer. For the past 40 plus years, particularly in the last 27, I have worked very closely with many of you, privately and at the very highest levels of Nigerian federal and state government.